April.
Cancer, a name that scares all of us, a name that has the capacity to change lives, a name. And today we have an exemplary speaker who's dealing with tumor in a very unique manner. That is lots and lots of humor. His life, his liveliness, his sense of humor is certainly extraordinary from every angle. Okay, so okay. So, good evening to each and everyone from our happy-go-lucky family watching us on Zoom and on live on YouTube. I'm Divya Shah from Radio Diva. It's an initiative to reach out, create awareness about important mental health issues, holistic well-being, and we also have fun and light sessions where we laugh, sing, enjoy, and celebrate life. Talented speakers from different walks of life share their wisdom and experiences with us, helping us be better version of ourselves. So, all of you, if you like our content, give us that extra, be kind to give us that extra boost of energy by hitting on the like button, subscribe so that you know when a video is uploaded, and share it with friends and family so that they also benefit by our variety of content. Follow the Radio Diva page on Instagram and Facebook and be part of our happy-go-lucky community. And let's meet the man of the hour, the award-winning, best-selling author, Ramendra Kumar ji. There's so much that I want to talk about him, but we can start with a video of his. What do you say? Should we start with a video of his? Yes, let's do that. There's so much that I want. I think the sound is not there, right? All of you can use the chat. Yeah, there's no sound voice in the video. Just a second, maybe. So this is the video of him. Yes, Alok. Thank you. I think we would like that video again. What do you say? Yes, love this video. So much of energy in this video. It's a beautiful father-daughter video. And I saw it and I instantly fell in love with it. Should we have the video once more, friends? Yes, Jayaji. I think this is a beautiful video. Thank you so much, Alok sir. Wonderful energy in this video, so inspired, such a vibrant video. Everybody is loving this video and that makes you so popular, sir. So here is our guest of honor today, Ramendra sir. And you know what, I have to tell you all that today he is COVID positive right now, and he is having fever, he's having body ache, but his spirits are as always high. I mean, jitni baar inse baat hui, main inki fan ho chuki hu already. So welcome to the family, Ramendra sir. Such a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
It's such an honor to have you.
Privilege is mine.
Yes. So tell us about this video. It's a beautiful video. You can't help smiling and jigging with it. Yes. So tell us about it. Like what? Okay. So we start from the start. Let's tell us about when you were detected, or what do you want to start with? Because
Yeah, so
excited
let me
about.
begin with the beginning in the sense that to give you guys a proper perspective, my wife Madhvi and I were working in Rourkela steel plant in Rourkela for 33 odd years. Then we decided to take voluntary retirement and come to Bangalore, where our kids are, working. So for we came on January 28th, and since then I've been on a super high. Two book releases, lots and lots of Zoom sessions, storytelling, creative writing workshops. I mean, I don't think I've been happier than this till November 28th, when the diagnosis slammed into me that I was suffering from stage 2 colon cancer. It came as such a huge surprise because normally people who get this kind of a cancer are, yeah, either they drink or they smoke, or they eat a lot of red meat, or they don't exercise, they are obese, and blah blah blah. I didn't suffer from any of these fascinating ailments. So I was really shocked. So we went up to the canteen in the hospital where we had met the doctor, and for 20 minutes I raved and ranted, that why me, poor me, and how come me, and all that. And then I paused for a few seconds and I saw my family, my wife, my beautiful wife, my lovely uh, daughter, and my handsome son looking at me, and their faces just crumpled. It was as if that they were seeing my own death in my eyes. And then I decided I couldn't do this to them. They don't deserve it. It's not their fault. 21st minute, I decided to effect a paradigm shift completely. And my mantra of looking for humor in every tumor started. And I made this video and a couple of videos where I recited poems. I filled social media with lots and lots of WhatsApp messages, joking about the thing. There was a particular video which went almost viral where I do Amitabh Bachchan's act in Diwar. Aaj to bahut khush ho gaya tum. That kind of a thing. People went crazy about it. So I was doing all these things, and you know what the result was? The result was humongous. I started getting messages. My this thing radio oncologist, she shared the video of me and my daughter, which you saw, in her groups. So the director of one of the premier hospitals in the country wrote to her about how motivating, how inspiring it is. There was this gentleman from, I don't know from where. He was telling me, sir, my father suffers from some kind of a artery disease, and he's not getting up to walk. Then he showed him this video, and he started to walk. How amazing is that? Then an acquaintance of mine said that I showed your video and poems and all to my mother, who's been diagnosed with stage 2 cancer, and she suddenly started becoming very peppy and very hopeful and very optimistic. Then there was one particular oncologist. I have to actually tell you about, read out this. A cancer specialist in Chennai, he wrote to me on Insta, cancer needs more such conquerors and heroes like you to break myths and the apprehension that it's a death sentence. On WhatsApp, on social media, every other place, I started getting messages. A CEO of a company who was a classmate of mine, he wrote to me. Doctors, big time broadcasters, engineers, management professionals, they have flooded with me with messages saying that, fight on, man. Somebody called me Ramen Sher Khan. I found that rather interesting. Somebody else was saying that I'm a messiah for and I'll become a great motivational speaker if and when I survive this. So, and then can you believe it? It's like straight from the movie Anand of Rajesh Khanna. People have gone to gurudwaras. They've given a chadar in a this dargah in Gwalior. They are praying in churches, in temples, and doing dua, asking for dua in masjid, sending me Buddhist chants, mantras, and healing prayers. Now tell me, is looking for humor in every tumor, worth it or not. And finally, what I have done, I think, is I've created an ecosystem of positivity. And because of this, the more positivity I share, I get double the amount. And that is the ecosystem.
Wow, that's beautiful. It's like अपने दर्द को भी इतना इंस्पायरिंग बना दिया आपने. This is beautiful, Ramendra sir. So, I mean, it's not that cancer gave you positivity. It's like you have been a person who has seen positivity in every situation of your life. So tell us about your childhood, about you that makes you the kind of person you are. I mean, there's, I'm sure, a lot of work, a lot of pain, a lot of events, stories that has gone to make Ramendra what he is today, what we see him today.
Yeah, I had a very scarred childhood, because my house was always a battlefield with my parents warring with each other. There was not a single day when something or the other would, just they would cut loose on each other. And the fault was entirely my mother's. My father was a darling, thorough, complete, absolute gentleman. Kisi Ki Muskuraton is actually, my favorite song because it's his favorite song. So then at the age of 15, I was a scholarship holder in the school and I was doing really, really well. When my sister got engaged and then married and all, we are from a Marwadi family, so every engagement and every marriage is like, hum aapke hain kaun? Dhulai, Sagai, Malai, Pitai, all those ceremonies have happened, and since I was the only brother, I had to tag along. Then when I came back and joined after a gap of around 20, 25 days, I had an attack of malaria and then again a double attack. I missed around 3 months of school. Imagine the best school in Andhra Pradesh, missing 3 months in class 10. I just didn't know what was happening. Physics and maths were completely this thing for me, scary. And I failed in the unit test, only a unit test. But I was such a sensitive guy that my physics teacher showed the paper and said, this is an example of what complacence does to a guy. And my classmates and all, they started jeering me and started making fun and all that. I mean, it was not nothing very serious. But I said, I won't go to school. But my father understood. He said, okay, after a month or two, we'll see. But my mother said, no, no, you have to go to school. After 2 months, again, she came one day on a Saturday night to my room and said that one day you're going. And I couldn't go to school at all. I mean, it was just impossible for me to face my classmates, the jeers of my classmates and the admonition of my teachers. So what did I do? At around 12:30 Saturday night, I picked up a bottle of phenyl, broke it, and I was about to drink it. Luckily for me, my father was just going by, and he saw me through the mosquito mesh door. He broke open the door, snatched the bottle, and gave me a hug, and he cried. For the first time, I saw the person whom I love the most, the strength in my life, the person who personifies, what should I say, grit, determination, crying like a child. And he said in Hindi, "Beta, agar tumko kuch ho gaya, to main kiske liye zinda rahunga." So then after that, he came into this thing and all. And then he said, okay, you're not going to go to school. I appeared as a private candidate. And then I did my engineering and MBA. And here I am today talking to the charismatic Divya. In between, what happened was my mother left home with a boy who was with a young man who was 20 years her junior. We were staying in a campus, so you can imagine in 77 what kind of shit would have hit the ceiling. There was such a huge controversy and all that. My father was completely broken because in spite of everything, he loved her to distraction. So then what did I do? I stood up for him. So when my father saved my life, and I think I saved his career in life, so it came a full circle. So once one has seen, then there have been a little bit of pinpricks here and there. When I wanted to get married to Madhvi, my future wife, my father-in-law threw a tantrum because they are Telugu Vaishnavite Brahmins right up in this stratosphere, and we are North Indian Marwadis down below in the Patal Lok, whatever. So there, I had to face a lot of difficulty. I resigned my job, came back, became junior to my wife for 12 years, blah, blah, and all that. But if you've gone through all this, then cancer ka baap bhi tumhare saath kuch nahi kar sakta. Sorry for the language, but nothing can touch you. I believe that. If you've conquered this, nothing can touch you.
My God, such an eventful life. I mean, I think you have, survived worse than what cancer can do. You're right. Cancer ka baap bhi kuch nahi kar sakta. I'm so stumped right now that I don't know what to say. But yes, पता है किसी के लिए वो कितनी बड़ी बात होगी जो छोटी सी दिक्कत लाइफ में अभी चल रही है, एंड यू हैव स्पोकन एट वन गो अबाउट सच अ like bigger issues. I mean, issues which are so life changing and so scary, and still you have a smile on your face, and still you haven't passed it on to others in your family, in your life, and you have, you know, एक होता है ना कि हम बेटर होते हैं तो हम आगे भी पास ऑन कर देते हैं, बट हम बेटर हैं लेकिन हमने आगे सिर्फ पॉजिटिविटी पास ऑन की है. आई मीन योर फैमिली, योर चिल्ड्रन, योर वाइफ, एवरीबडी, यू हैव बीन वेरी सॉलिड एंड यू हैव बीन टेकिंग great care of them mentally also, not just paying for them, not just, you know, earning for them, but also mentally you have been there around. So how, you know, how do you manage? So what is the coping mechanism that you have, Ramendra sir? I would love to know. I mean, besides making everything small and humorous, what else do you do to, you know, survive all the challenges that life throws on you one after the other?
So I think the most important thing for me is relationships. I cherish them. I can do anything for relationships. So today, if I'm with cancer, fighting it out and all that, it's because of the relationships I share with my children and my wife. They have, like I have been for them always. They too have been for me ever and ever. Now, for the last one month and a half, they have just kept their lives on the mantelpiece. Three of them. They are living through my ordeal or whatever I'm going through every day, every hour. So that way I'm blessed, and that is my biggest coping mechanism. See, what happens is if you have a scarred childhood, there are two options. One is that you do exactly the same thing, and one you do the opposite. So I told my wife when we got married that we have to make sure that we have to keep communicating with each other, and we will have fights, we will have arguments, but never allow the violence of silence to destroy our marriage, because nothing is worse than a tomb-like atmosphere, like a mausoleum-like atmosphere in the house where the children don't know what's happening. And then what I did was that my parents couldn't give me time, but I made sure that I gave as much time to my children as possible. Every day, one story to my daughter and my son, a different story, because they have terrific memories. And every function of theirs, annual day, sports day, grandfather day, grandmother day, whatever day, my wife and I would always be there. We were always there for them, because I think the greatest gift I could have given to them is the gift of memories. And they have a cache full of memories with them. And last year, for 3 months, we were in a COVID kind of situation. So I was thinking, closeted in a house in Rourkela, I was thinking, what's going to happen? Two teenagers in their 50s and two young guys in their 20s, and all together, there's going to be like a battlefield. But no, we had those memories to fall back on, old photographs, and then Ludo and Scrabble and whatnot. And I even wrote a book about it from my dog's point of view, how he feels when four of his two siblings and a set of parents is around. So it is relationships. I think that is the most important, not only with friends, not only with relatives, but also with friends. It's that is my strength, and it has been proved in so many ways. I think Santosh ji is here, Antara is here. They have been inquiring. Anandita is here, Munmun is here, and Renuka is here. So many of them. Kasturika is here. They've been writing to me on a regular basis, being in touch with me, just talking to me either on social media or on a phone call, and how much of strength it is giving to me. I can tell you.
That's beautiful, sir. That's beautiful. I mean, you know, just listening to you, I have had the privilege to have few conversations with you. And every time I heard you, I was so full of energy, so charged up, and so happy. So I'm sure everybody, all your friends, all your family, everybody's blessed to have you around. I mean, so no doubt about it. So is there any message? Okay, before I come to you, I request all of you, if you have any question for Ramendra sir, you can either write your question on the chat box, or you can raise your hand or put your name in the chat box. Jayaji will help me and locate it. And, you know, let's have, I'm sure सबके दिमाग में कुछ ना कुछ चल रहा होगा. So let's bombard him with questions. He will be happy to answer. So my last question to you, Ramendra sir. I mean, there are so many things I want to know from you, but I will leave it to the audience to ask you questions. So, you know, what is it I mean, many of us get bogged down by small issues of our life. इसने ये कह दिया, उसने वो कह दिया, कि वो में ही हम घुसे रहते हैं, वो ना जो ताना बाना of getting into smaller things of life, and then missing the bigger blessing that life is. So what do you have to share as a message to everybody who's listening to you, or who will listen to you on YouTube, that what is the message that people should have, and how they can actually bring about that positive change in their lives?
See, some things are very simple, like you should always, especially if you're in a situation of cancer or some other disease or some kind of chaos, you should always have a strong passion to fall back on, because that helps you keep the focus, and you don't start dwelling on what is going to happen to me 1 year from now or 2 years from now and all that. So develop, if you already have a hobby, concentrate on that. It can be gardening, it can be painting, it can be writing, it can be whatever, music. And if you don't have, try to develop a new, it's never too late to learn a new skill. And believe me, these are some of the best stress busters. Second thing is, I'm sure all of us are so busy in this rat race of life that we don't have time to spend with our near and dear ones, our children, our friends, our relatives. So now's the time when now's the occasion when you have the time to reach out to them. With your children, you create memories. I have this concept called ATM, anytime memory, where what I say is that you only need two four-letter words, time and love, to create a memory. And why are memories so important? Because they are the treasure chest you can draw upon when you are in difficult times. Because everything gets lost, but a memory lasts forever. The third thing I would say is that watch fun movies. Watch movies which are inspirational, like Anand, Life is Beautiful. These are very simple tips, but they have helped me a lot. The day I was diagnosed, that evening I watched Anand and I cried. I cried with Amitabh Bachchan, I cried with Rajesh Khanna, but it was such a healing effect. Then Life is Beautiful. I don't know whether you've seen it or not, but it's compulsory viewing for anybody who's handling the worst kind of chaos with the greatest kind of humor. For me, that is the movie. Then you remain positive, because your optimism will have a cascading effect. Those around you will be caressed with your hope and optimism, and they will respond in the same way. Soon, the ecosystem of positivity, which I keep telling again and again, will start happening. The most effective treatment is not cancer, drugs, or chemo or radiation. The most effective treatment is your own willpower and your resilience. If you decide you won't be beaten, nothing can vanquish you. The battlefield is not your heart, mind, and soul. Sorry, the battlefield is not your body, it is your heart, mind, and soul. Positivity, Divya, will not cure cancer. Definitely, it will not cure. You'll need all that chemo and radiation and everything else. It will not even cut short, enhance your life. I'll live for 5 more years because I'm laughing with this thing, Divya, right? But what positivity will do is make every day of your life worth living. It will enhance the quality of your life on a day-to-day, hour-to-hour basis. That is why positivity is important. Then live in the present moment. Now, for me, I know my next chemo has been pushed. It's on possibly 6th. Then I have another chemo. Then I have a major surgery where I'll be decolonized. My colon will be removed. And then again, 2 rounds of chemo. If I start thinking about that, then what's going to happen? I'll be in a mess. So rather than that, I think about today's session. In the morning, I got up and I thought, can I do it? And my kids and my wife said, of course you can do it. I said, yeah. Divya asked me. I said, yeah, definitely I'll do it. So focus on the present. This is not what I'm telling you. Everybody has been telling the same thing, but we don't do it. We get caught in these small, miserable things. Simple things, that a fight with the boss or something else, a WhatsApp message from your girlfriend which is not proper, or some tweet from somewhere or whatever and all that. Those are not big things. The big thing is now. Once you start creating an ecosystem of positivity, the entire universe will come together to offer you succor, solace, and strength.
Wow. As always, you stumped me. So, Jayaji, and I have people put their questions. We can definitely take up. And Santosh ji has raised his hand. Santosh ji, Dr. Santosh, you want to say something? Please come forward if you want to say something. And we have people who have put questions. So Virendra Rao is asking, how much is it helping you being in touch with your MBA buddies?
Oh, it's tremendous. Because on a regular basis, like once they had gone to a marriage and the entire group was there with their better halves and all that, and it was such a good thing. I mean, like even in those times, they are reaching out to me and chatting with me, giving me thumbs up every time I'm doing something good and all that. It's a big this thing boost.
Right. And we have more questions for you. The writing scenario, you must be busy writing. I'm sure your next book will be humor in tumor.
Yeah, I was thinking of calling it Cologne Chronicles, but I'll call it Humor and Tumor. I think that will be better.
So I think Jayaji has put the link of our YouTube and of our group. So anybody who wish to be part of our group can join us. And, you can follow us on the Radio Diva YouTube link so that, anybody can get inspired by this video of Ramendra sir. So Madhumita wants to know, does spirituality in any way give you strength to smile and go through your life's journey?
I don't know. Spirituality is a very big word. I will tell you that it's not. I will not say spirituality. I'll name one person who has
Mm-hmm.
given me this strength, and that's my Khuda, my father. Whatever I am today is because he went through a lot more hell than I did, and he was forever smiling. I keep throwing tantrums and whatnot and all that, but he was really gentle, serene, calm, even in the toughest of situations. He would always tell me that whenever I'm at a crossroads, what do? I don't do anything. I don't look back. I just move forward with a smile on my face. That's it.
So, as I mentioned it to you, we should do a session on the learnings from your father because there's so much that you talk about him, and I'm sure others will also benefit by a session like that. So, have you started taking your life more seriously henceforth? What has changed in your outlook?
No, I've never taken my life very seriously. I think after the suicide and recovery and all that, I've never taken it seriously because I believe in looking at the ridiculous and the sublime because that's the only way you can survive. And I've been a satirist also. People have even called me for this what's that stand-up comedy and stuff like that. So I can never be very serious. In fact, I was just thinking that tomorrow after the session is over, nobody should call me Kolon Baba or something.
Now that's amazing. I mean, I think making things small in our heads is so important. And then making humorous is so important. I think we take ourselves, our lives, our careers, everything way too seriously.
That's true. My brother-in-law is my own Jijaji brother-in-law. He laughs once a month.
Sorry.
And my sister is his Ardhangani, so she laughs once in 2 months. So then, and one day he was telling me, what is this you're behaving like that? ये क्या कर रहे हो तुम? हमेशा उछल कूद करते रहते हो, कुछ seriously कुछ नहीं लेते हो. अरे भाई तुम इतने बड़े ओहदे पे हो, जनरल मैनेजर हो, रोरकेला स्टील प्लांट 769011 में सीरियस लो नहीं तो कोई तुमको सीरियस नहीं लेगा. ये बचपना छोड़ दो. मैंने कहा क्या जीजा जी आपने मुझे बच्चा कहा? That is the ultimate compliment you have given me. You called me a child. I wish I could remain a child for the rest of my life, and I wish all of you could remain a childlike for the rest of our lives. So that's a great compliment, Jiaji. And then he got disgusted and walked away.
I'm confronted with this question often that when were you serious last time? I'm like, like child, if it's not the idea is not the I want to look small. I want to, idea is enjoy life like a child. No judgment, no prejudice, nothing, like you are just enjoying life like a child. Okay, before I take up any questions from the chat box, I would request, I think Sadbir ji has raised his hand, Neeta ji. Let's start with Sadbir ji, and Dr. Santosh, if you have any question, please come forward. Yes, Sadbir ji, you can unmute yourself and you can ask the question. And yeah, if you're comfortable, you can switch on the camera also.
Okay. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm all shawled up, and I just want to send you my blessings and
Thank you
hugs.
so much, Satbir ji. Thank you so much.
Seeing you face to face today after a long time. And I just wanted to ask you, how do you conjure up your stories? So many.
See, it's just like I live in that space of creativity. Anything and everything inspires me.
Mm,
My wife's moods, my
yeah.
mother-in-law's anger, my father-in-law's temper, everything inspires me. So that's how I conjure up stories. I'm in that space always 24/7.
Wow. Anyway, ये question तो बहाना था आपसे बात करने का. Thank you. God bless
So
you.
so sweet of you. So sweet of you.
Yeah.
Thank you
Okay.
so
Carry
much.
on.
Thank you so much, Sadhvi ma'am. Beautiful listening to you. Geeta ji, go ahead.
थैंक यू दिव्या. नमस्कार रमेंद्र जी. मैं
Namaskar.
नीता हूँ, दिल्ली में रहती हूँ, कॉलेज में पढ़ाती हूँ. आपकी हर बात मैं मुग्ध होके सुन रही थी. आप नटखट बच्चे की बात कर रहे हो. आज मैं बिल्कुल शांत बच्चा, जो कोई इतना चौंका देने वाला फॉर अ चाइल्ड. बहुत 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 एक एक शब्द में जान थी. और जब आपने फादर का जिक्र किया तो दिव्या और लोग जानते हैं, पापा नहीं है साल भर से, मगर मेरी रूह में बसते हैं तो जान ही सकते. तो मैं एक बात आपकी श्रृंखला पॉजिटिविटी में एक चीज शामिल करना चाहती हूँ. कभी वो लेक्चर नहीं देते थे, एंड वी शेयर द सेम प्रोफेशन. ही वाज आल्सो एन एकेडमिक हेड ऑफ अ इंस्टीट्यूशन. इवन देन उन्होंने उसको अपना जन्म सिद्ध अधिकार नहीं समझा कि इसको मैं बताऊंगा कैसे पढ़ाएगी, कैसे अपनी जिंदगी, ब्ला ब्ला. नेवर. एक बार मुझे नहीं पता, मेरी शायद अपब्रिंगिंग डाइनिंग टेबल पे हुई है, वे फूड फॉर पेट था, चलता था, बट फूड फॉर द हार्ट एंड फूड फॉर द थॉट.
ग्रेट.
है ना. तो एक बड़ा सिंपल वाक्य है जो मैं क्लास में हर साल जरूर से आई जाता है, शेयर करती हूँ. बड़े मजे से कहते हैं, डू यू नो द डिफरेंस बिटवीन अ पेसिमिस्ट एंड एन ऑप्टिमिस्ट? सो आई गेव हिम अ क्विजिकल लुक. तो और मैं बहुत बड़ी नहीं थी, 14-15 साल की होंगी. कहते हैं a pessimist is who falls from a 13-storied building, and at every story he say, हाय साला मैं मर गया. कहते हैं who is an optimist, जो हर मंजिल पे चीखता है, yippee, I'm still alive. तो मुझे आपकी है ना, मुझे आपकी शेयरिंग से ये लगा, अगर हमने दिमाग में भी लिया है, जुबान पे भी लिया है, हाय मैं मर गया, वेदर द सी, वेदर कोरोना वगैरह वगैरह, तो तुम मरी गए, इवन इफ तुम्हारी सांस चल रही है.
बिल्कुल.
बट दिस सी इज नॉट द एंड ऑफ द वर्ल्ड. किसी को नहीं पता कल होगी या नहीं होगी. हर किसी को पता है टुडे इज इन आवर हैंड्स. तो जी लो खुल के, So I just wanted to share this, and
thank you
lovely,
so much.
And I would love to connect. I'll talk to Divya. So okay. Thank you so much.
Thank
and
you so much.
God bless you. And somebody asked spirituality. Yes, spirituality helps. I'm on the path for 22 years. That is what is seeing me through, seeing my mother go away, see my dad go away. Because हाँ, अब जो कोई पूछता है, नीता, how are you coping? तो मेरा तो एक वो दिल से निकलता है, coping through tears and smiles. True. That is what life is all about. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Neetaji. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. Okay, Dr. Santosh says, keep the child in you alive. That is very important. But he also says, is the math streak important in life? So Ramendra sir, over to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think in a world which is completely insane, being somewhat sane is always the best thing. So I'm somewhat sane or somewhat insane.
Absolutely. I also believe that, being crazy, doing whatever your heart says rather than the so-called society norms. I think, it gives you life, it gives you energy, it makes you alive, I think. Not just gives you life, makes you alive. Okay, Veena ji says, Mr. Ramendra, so much respect for you. Keep that spirit alive. Always your presence itself is so inspirational. Wish you a speedy recovery.
Thank you.
Professor Rachna has raised her hand. Do you want to say something? And if you're comfortable, please switch on your camera.
Yeah, hello, good evening. I was just listening to Ramendra, and after a long time we are meeting, I think virtually, right, Ramendra?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good to see you once again. And that same zeal, Diva, I should just tell you that Ramendra, whenever I talk with him and whenever I interview him, he just gives me goosebumps. And that same thing is still there right now at this moment. Nothing is lost, I swear. I was like bubbling up and down listening to him. Every sentence, he maintained that in spite of anything, whatever is there all around. Sometimes I feel bad that should I disturb him, talk to him or not, what might he be going through. But then that fervor, that energy is in that same Josh. And I always feel that everyone, if we all can have that zeal, which that, that small tickle bud which Ramendra has, life will be so much comfortable, and there will be no more woes, no more troubles, no more anxieties, which we always keep on cribbing for all the time, in spite of having so much. So, Ramendra, hats off to you. And,
Thank you.
you really need that.
Thank you. Thank you.
You put up that positive vibes in us alive, and you really put that zest in us. Thank you so much. And every line which you said is so true, so true. And every day, whichever line it comes up, it's like so I just had one question, small question, Ramendra. So the next book would be a book of poems, or would it be again a story, that humor to humor?
I think a novel about my this thing, fight with colon cancer, fight and victory over colon cancer.
For sure. We will look forward to that book.
Great, superb, superb. Yes.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you
Thank you
so
so
much,
much.
Diva. Thank you. You two are also amazing.
Thank you so much. Okay, so Sunil Kaushalji has raised his hand, and Padma Rao. So let's start with Sunil, sir. Yes, Sunil, sir. And if you are comfortable, please switch on your camera. Okay, so sorry. You will have to unmute, ma'am. You will have to unmute, ma'am. Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you, ma'am. And I love your bindi, ma'am.
Thank you. Sorry for disappointing you. I'm not a sir, I'm a ma'am.
No. Just the name, Sunil Kaushal. I'm so sorry. That's on my.
Expecting that. I'm just joking. I was expecting that shock. I love to.
And I love your bindi. I love your bindi. It's so much adding to your personality. Please go ahead.
Thank you so much. Ramendra, I love you, son.
Thank you so much.
I'm a doctor. I'm a retired gynecologist. And I say you've overcome things beautifully. I will say that.
Thank you so much.
As a doctor, I believe in what you believe in. I am less of a doctor and more of a poet and a philosopher, whatever I'm quite crazy myself. So I quite understand this. And keeping the child inside, I don't know if there's any other way to survive life. I'm 77 now, and I refuse to believe that you can survive without keeping the child inside you alive.
So true.
Welcome to the family, Kaushal ma'am. Lovely to see you, listen to you. It's beautiful. Please stay where you are. Long life to you.
Thank you so much. And Ramendra, I have a request to make. I'm asking you for something. Besides what I will give you later is different. I'm editing a humor anthology, and we are almost at the last stage now. But considering your sense of humor, I think we will be a little incomplete if you don't contribute to it.
I would love to
have a poem or two or three or whatever you want to.
I would love to. Please send me the details. WhatsApp the details.
Yeah. I will inbox you the details, and I will look forward to hearing from you. And what I want to give you is my heartfelt blessing for a beautiful life, and keep giving us those doses of humor.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
God bless you, and you're fine. I won't say get well soon. You're fine. You're already fine.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Kaushal ma'am. Beautiful listening to you. Thank you.
Divya, this is what I was telling you, the ecosystem of positivity. The greatest example is this. Kaushal ma'am, and then Sadbir ji and
Rachna ji.
Rachna and everybody else. This is what it's all about.
Yeah, so
this is what you get out of us. That's another factor. You
Yes.
draw it out of people. You draw that positivity out of people.
Correct, correct.
It's all
Very-
magnetism. Son, it's all jadoo. It's all that jadoo.
so a doctor talking about magnetic power.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
positivity. can-
Amazing. Mm.
I totally believe in being that living on that zone, you know, on those
Yes,
vibrations.
yes, ma'am.
And-
Lovely
and-
listening to you.
धरती पर आकर तो मिट्टी हो जाएंगे, वहां थोड़ा थोड़ा उड़ते रहे, ठीक है.
Beautiful. So much to learn from you. And as Jayaji says, we'll have to request Ramendra sir to share your number so that we can have a session with you.
Lovely, that is beautiful. I will certainly learn. It will be a great honor for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kaushal ma'am.
Thank you, Ramendra. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye. Let's take the last question for the day. Padma Rao, sir, you have raised your hand. You want to? Yes, sir.
Hi, buddy.
Hi, Ramel. How are you, man?
I'm good.
Yeah, you are your usual spirits. I think it's more infectious now than ever before. For once, you told people that that nothing should bog you down, actually, and you should actually create that infectious positivism in everybody.
Thank you.
My only wish is that the COVID gives space to your positivism and infectious spirit, so the world will be a more better place.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And as usual, buddy, you will come out
Thank you,
fighting.
bro. Thank you so much.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Anybody else? Okay. So before we finish, should we request Ramendra sir to read a poem of his? He is a beautiful poet, a beautiful storyteller. So Ramendra sir, will you like to read a poem of yours, and we finish the show with that?
Yeah, actually, this is a serious kind of poem, which I normally don't indulge in much. This is my life script. I had penned it before the colon cancer verdict slammed into me, I think around 7-8 months back. So this talks about my journey. So मस्ती का मरहम सीधा सादा कुछ सहमा वो अपने ही घर में था मेहमा सीधा सादा कुछ सहमा वो अपने ही घर में था मेहमा माँ की ममता का था मोहताज पापा के सर का था वो ताज माँ की ममता का था मोहताज पापा के सर का था वो ताज जिंदा होकर भी माँ ने किया अनाथ जिंदा होकर भी माँ ने किया अनाथ बीज भंवर ही उसका छोड़ा साथ बीज भंवर ही उसका छोड़ा साथ हमराज बने उसके दुश्मन खरोच रहे थे उसका मन चारों ओर थी काली स्याही सुबक रही थी अब हर धड़कन चारों ओर थी काली स्याही सुबक रही थी अब हर धड़कन कहीं भी जब न मिली पनाह जीना भी हो गया गुनाह कहीं भी जब न मिली पनाह जीना भी हो गया गुनाह ऊबने लगी जब हर एक सांस उसने चाहा हो जाए फना ऊबने लगी जब हर एक सांस उसने चाहा हो जाए फना उसके खुदा ने फिर दिया सहारा माय फादर उसके खुदा ने फिर दिया सहारा उसका जीवन उसे दिया दोबारा कल के टुकड़ों को चुनकर फिर एक नया आज उसने रचा कल के टुकड़ों को चुनकर फिर एक नया आज उसने रचा पापा का प्यार बन गया अब उसके जीने की हर वजह पापा का प्यार बन गया अब उसके जीने की हर वजह जो सीधा साधा कुछ सहमा था वो हो गया पूरा ओझल जो सीधा साधा कुछ सहमा था वो हो गया पूरा ओझल उभर के आया एक नए रूप में मन जिसका था अडिग अचल उभर के आया एक नए रूप में मन जिसका था अडिग अचल उसने बातों के जाल फेंके और चलाए मीठे खंजर उसने बातों के जाल फेंके और चलाए मीठे खंजर अपने बस में कर लिए न जाने कितने ही मंजर अपने बस में कर लिए न जाने कितने ही मंजर राह में अपनी रुका नहीं वो किसी के आगे झुका नहीं वो, राह में अपनी रुका नहीं वो, किसी के आगे झुका नहीं वो, लोग दिमाग का कहा मानते, वो सुनता सिर्फ दिल की सदा, लोग दिमाग का कहा मानते, वो सुनता सिर्फ दिल की सदा, सभी दौलत के पीछे थे पागल, उसका ज़मीर था उसका खुदा, सभी दौलत के पीछे थे पागल, उसका ज़मीर ही था उसका खुदा, कुछ अड़ियल कुछ मस्खरा, वो है थोड़ा आवारा, कुछ अड़ियल कुछ मस्खरा, वो है थोड़ा आवारा, जैसे हो चलता फिरता एक हंसी का गुब्बारा, जैसे हो चलता फिरता एक हंसी का गुब्बारा, सिर्फ आज में जीने का उसे हर दिल में ख्याल जगाना है, सिर्फ आज में जीने का उसे हर दिल में ख्याल जगाना है, हर एक सिसकते जख्म पर मस्ती का मरहम लगाना है, हर एक सिसकते जख्म पर मस्ती का मरहम लगाना है। थैंक यू।
Wow, that's beautiful.
Beautiful, beautiful.
बहुत ही सुंदर, बहुत ही सुंदर। आपकी बातें सुन के एकदम दिल भर आया। So anything that you want to tell about Radio Diva, our initiative, कुछ भी
I
आप?
think it's a great initiative, and you are reaching out to so many people, and the message which you are giving, about happiness, joy, masti, that is so important. That is the antivirus we need in these chaotic, disturbed times. In your channel, in your this thing, you talk about empathy, you talk about joy, you talk about sharing, you talk about caring. That is what we need. That is the most potent antivirus I can think of.
Right. I agree with you because I feel that this is what is in our hand to stay happy. We always make a choice whether we want to sulk about it or we want to be happy. And you have chosen to be happy and spread happiness. And the session that we had was such beautiful, people, all your friends sharing what they feel about you. It really means a lot. हमारा दिल भी भरा हुआ है, हमारा मन भी भरा हुआ है, पर हम आपको वापस से सुनना चाहेंगे, Ramendra sir. And everybody who watches us on YouTube, please share this video with maximum number of people. His story is so exemplary that it should reach to many people. And our platform is such that, our messages, our videos, our speakers, all are out of the world, and I think we should reach out to more and more people, and I will definitely need each and everybody's help in spreading happiness, as Paruldi says. So thank you to everybody